Hi guys, tonight you're going to be doing lesson 5-5, one-digit quotients. And one of your beginning learning goals is use doubles division to divide by 2 digits. See if I can get this. So your learning goals. In your math journal, write learning goal. And you're going to write the following learning goals below it. 1. Double the divisor to divide without using multiplication. Subtract carefully. Check to make sure the remainder is less than the divisor. If the remainder is ever more than the divisor, you've done the problem wrong. Add to find the quotient and check using multiplication. Now, if you remember, in a division problem, the 964 is the dividend, and the 7 would be the divisor. So if your remainder is ever more than the divisor, you've done the problem wrong. So let's start with an example. So this is one of your practice problems. So on your paper, write practice problems, and go ahead and write the problem out, and go ahead and solve it. When you're ready, push play. So 115 divided by 12. Push pause and solve the problem, and push play when you're ready to begin. So 12 does not go into 1. 12 does not go into 11. So how many times does 12 go into 115? Now you can say your multiples of 12 if you've known them, but if not, take 12 and take it times a number to see how many times 12 goes into 115. I always like to do 5 just because it's in the middle. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. That's 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. So that's 60. So we're pretty low. So you're going to take 12 times another number. 8 times 2 is 16. That's 8 plus 1 is 96. Now if I added 12 to 96, or 12 times 9, I would be able to see if it's going to be 8 or 9 times. And that's 108. So 12 is going to go into 115 9 times. And 9 times 12 is 108. Which is 7. So I have my one-digit quotient because it's going to be 9 remainder of 7. Now, is my remainder less than my divisor? Yes, it is. And if I took 12 times 9, I would get 108. And if I added 7, I should get 115. And I did. So that should be the correct answer, 9 remainder of 7. Okay, your next practice problem is 428 divided by 64. So go ahead and write that down. Okay, and push pause. And when you're ready to see if you've got the answer right, push play. Okay, guys, so one-digit quotient. So 64 is not going into 44. It's not going into 42. So how many times does 64 go into 428? Well, guys, you're going to need to pick a number. So 64 times, I always start with 5. You may start higher or lower. So I have 320. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2, be 32. I'm going to take 64 times 8. 8 times 4 is 32. Eight times 6 is 48, 49, 50, 51. So that would be too much. So 64 times 7. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 6 is 6 times 6 is 36, so 7 times 6 is 42, plus 2 is 44. So that would be too much. So 64 times 6, 6 times 4 is 24, that's 36, 37, 38. So it would be 6 times, and 6 times 64 is 384, minus 4 is 4. So 6 remainder of 44. The remainder is less than our divisor. If we have 384, which is what 64 times 6 is, and we add 44, if we get 428, we are on the right track. 428. 6 remainder of 44 is correct. Yay! Our next practice problem is 330 divided by 42. So go ahead and write that on your paper. Push pause and solve the problem, and when you're ready, push play. So 42 does not go into 3. It does not go into 33. So how many times does 42 go into 330? Well, I'm going to start with 42 times 5. And that gives me 210. I'm going to take 42 times 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33. So that's going to be too much. So 42 times 7. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 1 is 29. So I have 7 times, and 7 times 42 is 294. Subtract. So 10 minus 4 is 6. And 12 minus 9 is 3. So I have 7 remainder of 36. Okay, so now let's check it. So we know 7 times 42 is 294. And if we add our remainder to that, which is 36, carry the 1, that's 13. 430? Oh, no, 330. Sorry. Yay, we were right. So 7 remainder of 36 is the correct answer. I always get so excited when we get the right answer. And another practice problem. We have 243 divided by 31. So go ahead and write that down. And push pause and solve it, and push play when you're ready. So 31 does not go into 2. 31 does not go into 24. So 31 times, I'm going to try 5. That is 155. I'm going to take 31 times 8. That's 24. So that's 248. So 8's too much. So it's going to be 31 times 7. And that would be 217. So 13 minus 7 is 6. 3 minus 1 is 2. So I have 7 remainder of 26. And 7 remainder of 26 is the correct answer. Now we have a practice word problem. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you and then push pause and solve the problem. It says Ella has $118. It's important, so I'm going to mark that information. She wants to purchase concert tickets for herself and 5 friends. Guys, we always get tricky there. That's herself and 5 friends. So she's going to be purchasing 6 tickets. It's always important to pay attention to that. Each ticket costs $19. So, does she have enough money? Explain and write your answer in your journal. So she has $118. She wants to purchase 6 tickets. Each ticket costs $19. Does she have enough money? Explain and write your answer in your journal. Okay? Well, we know that we're dividing. So what if we tried, she has $118. She wants to purchase 6 tickets. So if we take 118 and divide that by 6, that's going to tell us how much she can have for each ticket. 6 times, no, that wouldn't be right. 19. So 118 divided by 19. She has $118. Each ticket costs 19, and we want to see if she has enough to buy 6 tickets. So if we divide that out, 19 times, I'm going to just try 6 because we know she needs 6 tickets. So 6 times 9 is 54. So 6 times 1 is 6 plus 5. That's 11. That's 114. Yay! Okay, so 6. That's 114. Subtract that. So she has 6 remainder of 4. So does she have enough money to buy 6 tickets? Yes. She can buy 6 tickets and will have, the remainder is money, so, and we'll have $4 left over. Yay! So that's a good sign. And then the last is the challenge. So in your math journal, write challenge. I'm going to read it to you. You need to work it out and come to school the next day prepared. Pay attention. There is an A and a B. Use the table below to answer the following questions. Show your work and explain your thinking in your journal. So our chart is divided up into day and number of guests. So Monday, there was 584. Tuesday, 286. Wednesday, 641. Thursday, 528. Friday, 272. A. On Monday, the pool was only open for summer camps. If 72 students fit in each bus the campers took to the pool, how many buses did they need? And this is on Monday. The pool was only open for summer camps. If 72 students fit in each bus the campers took to the pool, how many buses did they need? And B, on Friday, the pool was rented for a family reunion. If the pool needs 1 lifeguard for every 15 people, how many lifeguards did they need on Friday? So you guys, you're answering A and getting an answer and explaining it, and then you're answering B by getting an answer and explaining it. Write and explain your answers to part A and B of the challenge problem in your journal. Be ready to check your work in class tomorrow. Now let's finish up. Review your learning goals. Have you mastered all of them? Do you need to go back and practice or review again? In your journal, write down if you are at a 1, 2, or 3 in your learning. If you have completed the lesson 5-5 one-digit quotients. I will see you tomorrow.